Hey guys, so today I actually want to talk to you about the difference between long-term growth and short-term growth and instant gratification. So we often go out in the world wanting things to be accomplished quickly, wanting to get something fast, and that includes making money, creating partnerships. We're consistently wanting to move to that next level very, very quickly. And you'll see a lot in marketing, individuals, companies talking about how you can get this and how you can get this really fast. The get rich quick kind of schemes, the opportunity to bring in a partner and bring in a partner immediately and really fast and really quick, and all the different ways that you can get what you want and you can get it now, right? So there's the get rich quick, get anything quick kind of options out there. And with those, the challenge with it is that it's not actually a long-term investment, it's a short-term investment. There's a huge difference between giving yourself the time, the energy, and the focus to build something as opposed to wanting something to happen overnight. That is definitely when we want something to happen quickly, when we want something to happen overnight, when we need something to happen quickly, even the get rich quick items and those schemes and stuff, those are things that, again, it's instant gratification, and it's the amygdala. It's going to the hindbrain and going for that immediate dopamine rush. Now, the dopamine rush long term doesn't last. It's the same kind of dopamine rush that we're going to get when we're doing some sort of drug, and we all know that that doesn't last, and we need to keep getting those hits. And when we get those one hits from that short term something that we accomplished in a really short period of time, we all of a sudden expect ourselves to get things short term. Now, the truth is it takes 25 years to be an overnight success, and it takes really quite some time to build the things that are important to you. So if you even took a look at your life and you took a look at, this is an exercise I love to do, by the way, with myself and my clients. If you took a look at all the things that you brought in that were short term, that were quick, and that were easy, and all the things that you brought in that were long term, that were challenging, that took time, energy, focus, commitment for you to bring in, you're going to notice a big pattern between the two. One of the most common things I see when I do this with clients is that everything that was quick and easy in their lives, the things that were simple, the things that were fast, the things where they got what they wanted right away, they didn't value, they didn't appreciate, it didn't have a foundation, so it didn't last that long, they couldn't build upon it, and so these things were fleeting in a sense, and as quick as they got them, they also lost them. Then there's also the dynamic of that other list, where the things that were really hard, that took time, energy, and focus, and actually were incredibly challenging, and sometimes you think, oh, I don't even want to go through that again, it took me that long to do it, I don't want to do that again. Those particular things, when we actually take a look at them, those are the things that they still build upon today, that they still have value on today, that are still growing today, and that they really are grateful to have in their life, and that they feel like not only they worked for, but they earned it, you know, because there's also a big aspect of earning it. If we don't perceive we earn something, we don't have a value on keeping it, and we get rid of it right away. Now, if you actually did that and you looked at where you brought in things quickly and easily in many areas of life, not just money, business, opportunities, friends, families, romantic partners, all the things that came quick and easy, you're going to see that there's some major drawbacks to those particular items. If you actually look at that list, you're going to be like, whoa, this isn't as amazing as I thought it was. Do I really want to keep getting things quick and easy, or do I want to take the time and energy and focus on something that's really important to me? And when you look at that list, that things that took you hard, that were grueling, that were exhausting and challenging, sometimes the challenges you don't want to go through again, but when you look at the list of what you created at that, you're going to be really grateful to see that these are long-term investments that have stood the test of time and will continue to stand the test of time as you expand upon them. Now, the interesting thing too is that as you start to look at these things and you start to realize, hey, it's really worth it to make long-term investments, yes, and not just in your finances, because a long-term investment in finances isn't just, you know, buying something that's a depreciable asset, but actually putting some money in a savings account. You know, that's you investing in you. But if you think about long-term investments, even with friends, sometimes we want to make friends quickly, but when we take the time and energy to even make friends take a little bit longer, get to know them, all of a sudden this is a relationship that's going to last longer because you guys have got a really deep foundation, really deep roots, as opposed to the ones that come in quickly and you don't get to know each other well enough and all of a sudden you're out of your life. So when you think about that and you look at that, because this is a big theme for some clients lately, is what can you actually now set your sights on? Instead of just trying to get that quick fix, instead of trying to get that dopamine rush, what could you set your sights on long term? What could you give yourself permission to invest time, money, energy into that will give you the long-term results that you want? One of the biggest things that I love to invest in is myself. I love to invest in my own growth, my own personal development. And as much as I can hop on a phone with one of my coaches, go to a workshop, do some work at home, and get a really quick fix and an easy switch in my persona and my perceptions and change some stuff here and there, the reality is that that's just building upon the long-term investment of long-term growth, long-term evolution. And at the end of the day, my long-term goal of what I would love to be as a teacher. And if you can think of things that you would love to invest time in, that you would love to face the challenge in, that you would love to move forward in, you can set tons of little goals along the way to get to those big, big long-term goals. And sometimes, you guys, goals don't even have to be for this lifetime. You know, sometimes we think, well, what's my goal for the next year? And you set goals for the next year, but what about the next 5 years or 10 years or 20 years? How long-term can you go in regards to long-term strategies and long-term goals? 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. What about after you die? Like, what would you love to leave for your family or your kids? Or if you don't have a family, what would you love to leave for those around you? What would you love to leave for the world? What kind of impact do you want to make? And when we think about that, it changes the dynamic of our short-term goals. You know, our short-term goals are those tiny little steps that take us to the longer ones. But even if you had a goal that after you passed away, you wanted to leave this, this, and this for your kids, I bet you there are steps that you could take today to get you there. Or if you had a goal that you wanted to leave this kind of impact on the world, there are tiny little steps that you can take today to get you there. But without setting that long-term goal now, you won't be able to take those steps to get there today. Which, guess what? Those huge goals, those giant goals that seem kind of like shoot for the stars goals aren't actually shoot for the stars goals. It's just a goal that doesn't have those tiny little steps along the way. So in essence, we're setting long-term goals, but utilizing shorter-term strategies to try to get to those long-term goals. And by doing that, instead of just, deciding in 50 years, I should have done this when I was younger, I should have started setting this goal, I should have been working towards it, you can actually work towards it while getting what you want today, which is really beautiful. So at the end of the day, again, it's about thinking about how something's going to impact you long term instead of trying to go for that immediate gratification, that instant dopamine rush, because just like a drug, situations, experiences, spending money, jumping into certain experiences is also that immediate dopamine rush. But when we actually sit and take the time to figure out, hey, is this something that's going to work for me long term? We can actually see that there's maybe a deeper meaning behind it. Maybe you are jumping into those relationships quickly because, you have some past pain that you haven't dealt with, and it's giving you an excuse to walk away from someone that you might really want to invest time and energy with. And maybe you have been spending money because you don't feel like you deserve it, because you have some guilt and shame for things that you've done in the past. There's so many, a myriad of things that could be going on within your perception, within your mind, but the only way to really figure it out is, instead of going for that instant trigger, that short-term, immediate gratification, is taking the time to sit down, setting long-term goals, seeing what's going on in your mind, seeing what's going on in your perception, so you can actually move beyond that and move into more of a life that you love. Not a life that you perceive you would love because you're comparing yourself to someone else, but a life that would authentically be something that you would love, that aligns with you at a soul level. And that's the most important thing. The biggest thing about this work, and the reason why I love teaching about all this, is just to help you guys get in line with who you are authentically, who you are at a soul level, so that you can feel more fulfilled and more inspired, instead of just trying to get that quick hit of happiness or joy and going in and out of happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. And part of that long-term investment is also investing in you and your perception and your mind and understanding everything that's going on. So sit down, set that list up. I want you to look at everything that you've gotten short term, and I want you to look at everything that you've gotten long term. And the short term, make sure you look at all the things that you got quick and easy, because there definitely is the perception out there and a lot of sales telling you that you can get this fast. And then you sign up for it, and usually you don't get it, and then you're pissed off. But sometimes you get it and then you keep going for that same dopamine rush and you just can't keep it, and it becomes a drug. It's not sustainable. And I want you to look at that list and see how sustainable everything has been over a long period of time, because I guarantee you it hasn't been what you thought it was. And then I want you to look at all the benefits of your long-term investments. And when you sit there and you actually look at your long-term investments and think you that put time and energy into, and what those things actually are, and you're going to be really grateful for that list and what you've created. Alright guys, so I hope this helps out, and I hope this helps to expand your long-term vision, expand your long-term goals, because New Year's is coming up, and instead of just setting a goal for the next month or year, maybe you can start thinking about setting the next goal for the rest of your life, for lifetimes beyond you, and what you can leave behind for those you love or even the world. Alright, let me know if you have any questions, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.